Close to you, that could cut through. Do you miss me too? Wish you were in my room.
I wanted to play those two clips so that we can understand what we diving into because these young women, whether you're on the social media or you have a little bit of a following, they have a strong influence over the masses because there are a lot of shallow individuals out here, a lot of depressed people that live vicariously through these individuals, especially so-called sisters, so-called black women. You know what I'm saying? Then they wonder why they're so over sexualized. We don't see a lot of Lauren Hills out here. Obviously, they're not going to get pushed because they're not behind the scenes pushing what's cool, pushing what's hip, pushing what wants to be seen. We have to understand that when you're trying to break down a nation, man, you got to take the woman. Or when the nation's been conquered, the women are getting taken regardless to be sex slaves. A lot of these women are sex slaves to the industry, sold out just to chase a quote unquote bag. They don't give a shit about nothing. So I don't care about people crying or people feeling bad. A lot of these people are just good actors and people that live regular lives, work regular jobs, feel bad for these people who are quote unquote rich, where they don't really give a shit about you. If you really understand, they need you more than you need them. Last year, it hit me when I had a conversation with my uncle and his cousin to where we were talking. It was around election time, and I'm like, yo, bro, like, this dude Biden met with Cardi B. Like, are you serious? Could you actually think that we had a disagreement? These two dudes was looking at me like I'm crazy, saying I sound like Fox News because I'm sitting here like, bruh, you mean to tell me that this dude Biden is going to meet with Cardi B, a former stripper who talks about nothing but her WAP, talks about nothing, can't articulate a sentence, can't articulate a fucking paragraph, bro. You mean to tell me that she's somebody to talk to because she's popular, because she's quote unquote famous? But meanwhile, she's sold out herself. All she cares about is the money in herself. She had that WAP song playing in the background, turned that shit off in the quickness once her kid was coming down the steps. What does that let you know? That just had me like thinking that, yo, bro, like the media and the masses are completely brain dead. We all have our mind of our own, but we really don't use it. And then we got the other side to brothers that got young females in their lives. I saw it at my niece's party, who's around this age. She had a little 10-year-old, 11-year-old there, choreographing TikTok dances, singing Meg the Stallion lyrics. I don't need to get naked for no 20 bands or some nonsense like that. I was like, yo, who the hell is that? I'm sitting here shaking my head like, yo, is this really what's going on? Mind you, I'm almost like 2 years off of the IG because there's nothing but nonsense on there for me, bro. Like, I feel like I'll go on there if I need to do business moves or network. That's the only reason why I open that shit back up. But that shit's not on my home screen or nothing. Every other week there's a challenge. Every other week there's this. Everybody became a politician overnight. Everybody hates Trump. Everybody's pro-choice. What is going on in this world? And I know the strong influence that they have over the masses because I saw that shit happen to my niece, to where she's becoming a liberal overnight. She wants to go to a damn protest. Meanwhile, she has nothing to protest. It suddenly became cool to bitch and complain to the masses. Everybody wants to be a victim. Everybody's hurt, rich or poor. There's no borderline anymore. Everybody is equally a bitch. I don't understand this. When I heard that these chicks, Chloe and Halle, was signed to Beyonce, I already knew it was only a matter of time before the good girl persona turns bad. So I'm not surprised. I just got to say my 2 cents because these young women that turn good, turn bad, they have an effect over the young woman, over the young generation. And if you don't notice what's going on with the young generation right now, then you're lost. Yo, they're far gone. Years ago when he had what? It was written, he had Black Girl Lost in that album, bro. So we want to talk about shit is timeless, shit is prophetic and all this nonsense, but it really isn't, bro. You have to break the cycle. We always talking about the cycle continues. Oh, she'll learn on her own. He'll learn on his own. You're grown. You got your whole life to live. Don't settle down with that man, even though I think he's a good man, but you got much time. You got time on your hands, girl. Then we look at those women, they 35 plus, couple kids, single and miserable. They don't give good advice. We go to these channels where women ain't nothing but miserable women in them comments. The same women that want to blame brothers for every problem that has to do with their life because they hate their fathers, hate their mothers or whatever, they will not talk about women like this. Women that are sexually liberated in all the wrong ways. Why is that, man? We don't get it. I don't get it myself. In the first clip, you could see her burning sage in her panties. Like, is that necessary? She got the shirt perfectly tucked behind her ass so that shirt don't drop. These girls do this shit choreographed. They do it for likes. They do it for attention. They do it for the hard eyes. They do it for the simpletons. And they do it for themselves because they shallow. And they also do it for themselves to garner more attention, garner more followers, and let the industry know that they ready to do whatever for that limelight. Because in all honesty, you could be as talented as you want to be, but you're not going to be getting pushed in the mainstream media unless you get down. Period, point blank. Let's see what they talking about.
Chloe Bailey couldn't hold back the tears as she addressed criticism over her new Instagram account. So here's some of the photos that Chloe has been posting over the past couple of weeks. While she and her sister have had the Chloe and Halle for a while, they each decided to start their own individual Instagrams as well so they could showcase their individuality.
Yeah, Chloe has also posted a couple of videos of her dancing, including this one. While lots of people are loving it, some are commenting that she's being too sexy.
There's a reason they're not playing the song in the background. It's a very provocative sound. I even saw a video where they even changed the song to like some happy song because they know what time it is with these people, and it only happens with sisters. But they're so far gone, they can't see how they're being used and abused.
Provocative, and she needs to tone it down. So she went on Instagram Live last night to address the criticism and got emotional in the process.
It really means a lot to me when I can finally get to a place where I share who I really am. And I've been like really insecure for a long time. And I'm finally like at that place where I have self-confidence. I'm not gonna cry.
Yo, not to sound disingenuous or anything like that, but everybody loves to throw those crocodile tears on Instagram Live or on a public platform or whatnot to get compassion. Meanwhile, they know what they're doing, and it's like boy cried wolf for the people that are really insecure, for the people that are really, you know what I mean, have low self-esteem, that are really feeling shitty about themselves. That shit's on those regular people. Now those regular people shed their problems away to feel bad for an individual that they will never know personally. I don't get it.
And I'm really happy that I get to share that with you all. And I think it's so important and so special when a Black woman can be strong and stand in her power in every single way. You know, I do it musically, with my songwriting, with my producing. I feel so badass. And I get the same feeling when I dance in my room, when I just own who I am and my body. And for so long, I used to think I was like fat, and like I used to hate my stretch marks and my cellulite. I'm not gonna cry. But it's like now I really love who I am. And I don't post what I post for validation from anybody or even male attention. It's just me. And a lot of people who know, like, who's on my like private Instagram, they see like that's how I find my confidence, because it has taken me a lot to appreciate myself and my body. There's been so many times where I felt I wasn't pretty enough, where I have a lot of issues with my weight. So it's a pivotal time for me. I'm just now learning at like 22, almost 23, that it's okay to be all that you are and to stand in that power.
Okay, tons of comments. Code says, hey, let her do her thing. Matt says, but go ahead, Chloe, live your life, young lady. Kristen says her busset challenge was fire. This is Chloe's gorgeous. That's something I'd like to do. Let this beautiful woman be. Yazzie says she should have just said, Beyonce knows me, and all you haters are broke, and we'll continue to watch. Robbie says, good for her. Honestly, I have a solution for those who have a lot to say about her page. Get off her page. So, yeah, what are your thoughts on this?
Well, I'm just like, how are we still attacking people for their sexuality and their bodies? We all have bodies. Who cares? It is your body. You can do whatever the heck you want to do with it. If you want to post racy pictures on Instagram, it's your body. It's your Instagram. Nobody should be trolling you for that. She's 22 years old. Listen, the content I've been seeing, it was a surprise.
Listening to terrible advice like this will have you single. You will not marry, if that's even in your plans, because in all honesty, I guess we're forgetting like why we're here. I guess we're just here to be a bunch of individuals, because that's what the program is. That's what the plan is. If you really look at it, they want to tear up the nuclear family. They want to take the so-called black man out of the family. Your opinion doesn't mean shit. You don't mean shit unless you got some good sperm, unless you got some money in your bank account. We don't really give a shit about what you think. Keep your opinion to yourself. We run the world. Remember that song by Beyonce? All that nonsense? They really believe that shit. There's really a beehive. There's really individuals. If you go on IG and you say, yo, Beyonce's a piece of shit, you will be like holding your mouth, sitting there like, yo, people are nuts. Over regular people that you know, bro, that won't even defend a woman that they know from high school, bro. But they'll defend Beyonce because she's famous and she makes songs that make them feel better more than they can make themselves feel better. That's sad.
For me, because obviously I've seen her, like they're a duo. I've seen the two of them in a certain light. Now seeing her in this way, I'm like, wow, okay. But she's 22 years old. She looks incredible. My other concern is when you're doing things publicly, you're going to be subject to criticism, whether, praise and criticism. When it's public, the public can have an opinion about it. So you have to build tough skin for the trolls. Unfortunately, by the way that she's crying, she doesn't have the tough skin yet. But sis, keep going, because you're going to be uncomfortable, you're going to cry, and you're going to get stronger. I think that if it makes you happy, keep doing it. Nobody should be picking on you about your body. We're liberated women. This is 2021. Sexuality shouldn't even be a topic. I don't care what you like, what you're doing, how you look. It is your life. We only got one chance at this. Go for it. I hate that she had to cry over it.
Yeah, Janice says she grown. She doesn't have to explain anything to anybody. Susie says, again, people are judging her. Nothing wrong with her posts. I wish I had her confidence. Keep them posts coming. Yeah, I think it's cool that she acknowledged that this is her wanting to do this, because I can't remember who. Was it Jessica Simpson maybe? Like, she talked about how when she first started her career, like it was men telling her how she should look and how she should dress more sexy. I think it was Jessica Simpson. I might be wrong on that. But it was a certain pop star.
But there's a method to the madness, man. We have to understand who's even running the show behind the scenes, the execs, the producers, who's in management. They all have the same agenda. Sexualize these women so that these women have to believe that they have to over-sexualize themselves for men's attention. Yo, you could go on IG and there's nothing but women in Fashion Nova, women in thongs, women on jet skis, woman here and there, all in bra and panties, bro. It's like, yo, is this just the trend that's going to continue for the rest of life? How about we try to create a challenge where we could see who could get married, who could hold down a relationship, who could be humble for once. All these goofy ass challenges to see who could shake their ass the best is nonsense.
With that they were forced by men to, be more sexual or dress a certain way in videos and stuff like that. And it's clear, no, that's not what's happening with Chloe. She's not being told to do this. Like, this is her. So as long as this is her free will and she wants to do it, then go ahead. Yeah, like obviously there's an issue of some manager was telling her that, oh no, in order to have a better career, you need to dress like this. That would be a whole other issue. But no, she's saying, no, this is me putting it out there. I want to do it. So yeah, like to each their own. She wants to do it, so let her do it.
Yeah, like as long as you're not putting yourself out there to look for attention or, healing or love, or you're looking for it in the wrong places, as long as it doesn't come from a negative thing or something where you need to actually look within yourself and not look outward, if it's really just you being like, hey, I love my body and I want to be liberated and confident in it, or, I'm trying to find that and I'm just showcasing the good and the bad and seeing what the world accepts. However you go about it, as long as it comes from a good intentioned place, go for it. If it's something that is a sore spot and you need healing, then don't go to anybody publicly. Go privately within, deal with yourself, go to God, go to therapy, whatever it may be. But in this set of circumstances, I think she looks great. First of all, that video, she posted a sexy video.
Dancing one? Yeah.
Woo! I was like, it had me feeling a way. I was like, I get my neon light together, honey. I don't know what I'm doing. I really got, how did she position that camera? I'm like, I like that silhouette. I was like, go ahead, girl.
Well, I do find it fascinating. There's so many pop stars that talk about that idea that they're so shy in real life, but then when they get into their public persona, their on-stage persona, they're able to be this, more confident and dance and stuff like that. I just find it interesting that there's so many pop stars that, like, I remember Britney Spears or something like that too, that she is very shy, but then she talks about when she gets on stage, it's a whole other thing. I find it a fascinating, like,
not for nothing, Britney Spears most likely was on medication before she got onto stage, man. Y'all call a spade a spade. A lot of these actresses, actors, singers, and musicians, they do a lot of drugs.
Logical study that there's so many pop stars that are like that become, for them, this different thing on stage.
Yeah, it is a completely different thing because you create a character in your mind, like, of what it is, and you just fall into it. If I've done shows in front of 50,000 people, can sing, go crazy, work the stage a whole hour, you would never think I was shy. And then in real life, if you ask me to sing in front of one person or 5 people, I literally, my voice cracks and I get so nervous. It's just different. You just tap into a really confident shield when you do these things. But she's 22 years old. I'm like, go have fun. These are the fun years. Go make mistakes. Go for it. Have fun.
What?
And the problem is that that's the same dialogue that's been circulated for years upon years upon years, bro. That's what these young women hear. Like, yo, listen, we're not just talking just to talk. This is real life. See this on the daily. Why you think there's so many brothers that's out here bashing women? I mean, that's that's what they do. I'm not out here to bash women. I got no hate for women. I love my sisters, and I know my brothers love their sisters as well. But there is a reason why brothers are not bothering to even deal with y'all. You feel me? Y'all show y'all ass on the internet, then y'all feel y'all are too good for the average Joe. It makes no sense. You hear, you're young, girl, make some mistakes. All right, go ahead, make some mistakes. And then your biggest mistake is that you really shitted on that good guy that really wanted you. I don't get it. We do things, and then we cry victim. I'm gonna throw this little passage out this book, man. It's just crazy that I just finished this book not too long ago, man. The subtle art of not giving a fuck, and I'm gonna piece out of this situation. It's called the Victimhood Chic. The responsibility/fault fallacy allows people to pass off the responsibility for solving their problems to others. This ability to alleviate responsibility through blame gives people a temporary high and a feeling of moral righteousness. Skip a little bit. Quote unquote, victimhood chic is in style on both the right and the left today, among both the rich and the poor. In fact, this may be the first time in human history that every single demographic group has felt unfairly victimized simultaneously, and they're all riding the highs of the moral indignation that comes along with it. It's just crazy. It says the biggest problem with victimhood chic is that it sucks away attention from the actual victims. It's like the boy who cried wolf. Like I said, the more people there are who proclaim themselves victims over tiny infractions, the harder it becomes to see who the real victims are. People get addicted to feeling offended all the time because it gives them a high. Being self-righteous and morally superior feels good. As political cartoonist Tim Creeder put it in a New York Times op, Outrage is like a lot of other things that feel good, but over time devour us from the inside out. It's even more insidious than most vices because we don't even consciously acknowledge that it's a pleasure. End quote. But part of living in a democracy and a free society is that we all have to deal with the views and people we don't necessarily like. That's simply the price we pay. You could even say it's the whole point of the system, and it seems more and more people are forgetting that. So all the brothers and sisters that want to throw shame at individuals that deserve it, please continue. We need to keep slut shaming, calling people out. It doesn't matter if you're a brother. It doesn't matter if you're a sister. We have to do what's right. It's just no other way to look at it, bro. Let me know what y'all think. I'm out.